Our first guest that we will be talking to tonight is United States Marine Corporal Christopher Morris, who was wounded in action October 8, 2009 in the Helmand Province in Afghanistan. He is pursuing a career in the military psychology field, a program recently started at West Virginia University. Hey, Ben.
What's going on, brother?
Thanks for coming.
Yes, sir.
So, why don't you just tell us your name, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Corporal Christopher Morris. I was United States Marine Corps. Deployed to Afghanistan, May of 2009. Basically what I did was QRF, which is Quick Reaction Force, but I was recovery specialist. So for the whole AO, which is area operation, ours was all of Helmand Province. So if somebody got blown up, we were the ones that went out to go get them. So essentially it's just rolling into a minefield every day.
Sure.
Made it all the way. I had 4 days left of missions, and we hit an IED and got a free helicopter ride from the Army. I don't remember.
It's not the best time to be in a helicopter, huh?
I always wanted to, be in a Black Hawk helicopter because, I'm a big fan of Black Hawk Down. I love the Army. My whole family's Army. I was the first Marine. It's just, I wish I could have remembered it.
Yeah. So what happened? Is it IED or?
Yeah, it was a pressure plate IED. Went off underneath my butt. Got a TBI, head and neck, twisted around. This shoulder went where this shoulder was. It was a pretty entertaining experience. Went out with a bang.
Yeah. So the Marine Corps retired you out?
Yeah, I got retired. I spent almost 2 years at Wounded Warrior Battalion East on Camp Lejeune. They saved my life. I can't speak any higher of them. The part of my TBI, my hypothalamus got damaged, so I couldn't eat. So I got down to 134 pounds, didn't eat for 4 months, still couldn't eat. Would have to give myself IVs every day just to save myself a trip to the hospital. They put me in the hospital for a month. Still have trouble to this day, but I can eat.
Yeah,
so.
Shoot, man, you're a big guy, 130 pounds. That's
Yeah.
You're skin and bones.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I lived off a Slim Fast for about a year.
Yeah.
So 500 calories per 12-ounce serving.
So, I mean, like, how long has it taken you on your road to recovery? I mean, are you getting back close to being everything's kind of okay? Well, as okay as it can be now.
It's been a long road. I got retired November 30, 2011. Started WVU the fall of 2012. The veteran organization, whenever I first started here, it was really just kind of a big drinking matter. That doesn't necessarily bode well for students like myself that just want to come in and, get a college degree and get out.
Sure.
Things started kind of going well there for a little while. Then my roommate committed suicide. Everybody always asked if he was a veteran. For me, suicide, whether you're a veteran or not, it's still no bueno. And so having to deal with that, everything was perfectly fine with him. He didn't give no indicators. I mean, this is what I do, as military psych, veteran suicide awareness and things of that nature. He was extremely happy with the football game we were watching. The Eagles beat the Colts by a field goal with 3 seconds left. 10 minutes later, 9 mil pop, went out. Kept him alive as long as I could. He was still alive when they were breathing, but he just basically went temple to temple with the 9 mil, donated his organs. Which is a weird thing, because when we come home from deployment, those that get killed ahead of time, you come home, you go to the base movie theater, you have your little thing with the chaplain, you don't see their families, but whenever his mother's sitting there thanking you for at least doing what you did to keep them alive, start to breathe and stop the bleeding, treat for shock, everything that we're taught. It's weird when she's thanking you that, some little girl gets to see because of it. Somebody got, part of his liver, so they got a liver transplant and things of that nature. It's just a really weird experience.
So there was no prior indication?
Absolutely nothing.
Just out of nowhere?
I didn't even see the suicide note until after they got him out. The cops ended up dusting, my fingerprints for the gun residue. I gave them, my clothes and things of that nature. And that's whenever they seen the suicide note. So. And
how's that been for you since then? We've, all of us here, we've been in combat, and you see terrible things over there, but you don't necessarily expect to see that stuff here.
Yeah, it definitely brought back a lot of bad memories. But again, suicide for me, my father committed suicide whenever I was 14. His twin brother, my uncle, hung himself. This would have been back May 19th of 2010. Again, like you said, you've lost about 12. That's probably about how many I've lost. I got 2 of their names right here on a tattoo. Our first, the WVU Veterans Golf Tournament, the first one was for my buddy Lutz. The second one was for my buddy Soltis. And so, I mean, it's just, it definitely brings back a whole lot of things whenever, you run out. And I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't want the chance of his mom seeing it, and I don't give out details of that to, just for that reason. But it's brought back a lot of bad memories.
Yeah. Do you ever go to the VA or deal with them at all?
Yeah, I will. I will say the Clarksburg VA is better than the Pittsburgh VA. I do like them a little bit better, but me and the VA just don't kind of get along. There are a lot of really great people. They have the best of intentions, and it's not the problem that they don't mean well. I mean, they have the best intentions. It's just the system itself so flawed that they're so behind the curve that they just don't know how to deal, with us. At least to the extreme of what I need. Basically, what I tried doing was that whole Veterans Choice Plan that they're starting to come out with and everything. I tried this last year after my buddy ended up killing himself. And I tried to just get outside help because what they were having me do was drive from Morgantown to Clarksburg just to telepsych with a lady that was here in Morgantown, then drive all the way back from Clarksburg back here to Morgantown.
That seems to be like the run-of-the-mill kind of thing that we run into.
Well, especially whenever I told them I need cognitive behavioral therapy. I need to be able to work through this stuff. I mean, this is kind of what I do. I can, I'm not self-analyzing, but I have a pretty good, idea of what it is. And I just wanted to talk to somebody face to face. I don't do well, on an iPad. So yeah, I'd have to drive an hour just to see them for a half hour and just drive back.
Wow.
So I don't deal with them very much anymore.
Right.
So the vet center to me, the Morgantown Vet Center and Lisa down there, they've been a godsend. The day my roommate killed himself, I was there. I didn't have an appointment. I just called and said, I need to see you. I mean, and she saw me. Yeah.
So, you lost your roommate. And you've probably known plenty of other veterans and stuff. Why do you think that we're seeing, from your standpoint as a veteran, why do you think we're seeing these higher numbers?
Because we're not getting the care that we're supposed to be getting when we come back. That's a big one, and the fact of having to deal with the VA. It's more of a headache than anything. Me personally, all I want to do is just get better and just live a nice, calm little life, maybe out in the country a little bit, maybe raise a couple kids, have a couple, have my service dog, and just live a happy life, and that's it. A lot of people, whenever they come back, anybody that's been deployed knows you get these little classes when they come back, tell you don't beat your wife and, don't hit your kids. But that's it. One day, you're getting shot at or blown up in my case, and a couple of days later, like, hey, welcome home.
Sure, yeah.
It's
not like a switch you can just turn off. You're not going to just immediately transition out of, combat mode back into, stateside mode.
Right, other than feeling grass underneath your feet, which if you ever deployed, that is the greatest feeling.
Oh yeah, everything's so green when you get back.
It's amazing. I highly recommend it. But other than that, that's that's the only sensory feel that you have because your mind's completely still back over there because you can't switch it off.
Right. So if you you said that we're not getting the care that we need. What things do you think if you were to go to the VA, that they could offer for you, or some other veteran-focused health organization that they could offer to you or to me or to any of us that would be more helpful?
I would just say just the adequate care for what the needs are. Me personally, I know that cognitive behavioral therapy, would be what's best for me for the traumas that I've had to go through. It's just, I watch enough Dr. Phil, I know enough smart people on this, on WVU's campus, to, know this. But not everybody needs that. I would just say, it's just being able to direct that veteran to, what they need and be able to get it for them. Because, we're not asking for, a whole lot. It's just the right care,
right.
the right, it's, it'd be like getting the right prescriptions. My goodness, I mean, at one point in time, I was on 19 different meds. You know, I mean, I'd have like 6 different med schedules every day, just trying to keep track of that. It's hard enough remember what I did in the morning, you know, having a TBI, let alone, you know, keep track of all the meds.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be like, you know, just so much more on top of you, having that TBI from being blown up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no short-term memory. Can't remember half the time if I ate, you know, in the morning, or got in trouble with my old unit back at Camp Lejeune because I couldn't remember whether or not I was at formation in the morning. So they were like, "You were UA?" I don't know if I was.
So the TBIs, like a lot of people don't, I mean, we know more about them because of, you know, because people getting blown up and
Right.
things now in the war. How severe was yours?
Mine was actually, well, I would consider mine mild. Again, I was at Wounded Warrior Battalion. I'm pretty proficient with the guys that have a lot worse off than what I do. I have a head tick. I'm able to kind of control it, knowing the fact that I'm on camera, so my head's not going back and forth a million times. But I see the guys, you know, I had a hard time walking, you know, there for a while. My balance has gotten better. You know, I'll still fall over, you know, if it's nighttime and I can't see and I'm trying to walk. But for the most part, you know, I did a lot of vestibular therapy to be able to get that to work. So, I mean, it does kind of help, at least to an extent. So.
Well, Chris, man, I appreciate you coming on and talking about, you know, losing your friend. I know it had to have been like just a awful experience, and you know, it's probably something that, like you said, if we were getting the adequate care, you know, it could have been avoided.
Right. Well, no, I appreciate the opportunities. You know, this is the kind of stuff that we need to have happen, especially around this area, and that's what I do, you know, with the Veterans Organization, WVU, reaching out to, you know, everybody. And what it is, I mean, my best advice for any veteran is you got to find out what that new passion for life, you got to find your new purpose for life, you know, regardless of what it is. Because the answer to that's really simple. I mean, that's what the answer is. You know, stop veteran suicide. Find your new purpose in life.
Right.
You know, find out why you know, for me, find out why I didn't die that night. You know, why am I still here? And I mean, you have to reach out to, you know, different veterans, different friends, different legislators. I mean, you know, you can tell they want to help. I mean, Senator Manchin, especially for me, has been a godsend. You know, and you know, like I end up telling him, you don't have to be a veteran, you know, to serve the veterans. You know, we just want your help a little bit, and that's it. You know, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah, appreciate it, brother.
Hey, Chris, man,
Good to see
thanks.
you. You got it.